Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to the channel. I am happy you're here today. We are continuing the Halloween decorating and I am having so much fun with this witchy theme. Last week we worked in the kitchen and the coffee bar area. I really love how it turned out, so I'm excited to continue this look into the living room and dining room area. So sit back, grab your favorite spooky beverage, and let's get decorating together. So we're ready to move on to the dining table, and these are some of the items that I'm going to be using for the tablescape, and I really do just want to keep it very simple. So I've got this like soft colored gray, almost creepy cloth. I plan to use this as a table runner because I just like the texture, and it does kind of bring in that kind of spooky element. And then these are just wiry looking twig stems from Hobby Lobby. I grabbed these last year, but I did see them in store this year as well. And then these are my favorite new purchase for this season. These I grabbed on Amazon. I actually have been watching them for quite a while because they were out of stock for a very long time. These are not the same as the ones that they sold at Target a few years back. I think those had varying heights and mine are both the same size. But I really do like the idea of having these crow's feet candle holders. And then just a couple of twisted tapers that I've used in the past. A simple pumpkin candle because I do want to kind of bring in the idea of fall still, and a little plastic skeleton hand, as well as this Hobby Lobby vase. So we're going to get started placing these items on the table. Keeping the dining table simple is going to help balance out the apothecary that I'm going to put together on the other side of the dining room. It's going to be full and have a lot of decor pieces, so this simple tablescape won't compete with all of the items over on the other side. Recently, I purchased a set of wall candle sconces from Amazon, and I really love how they look flanking the mantle and TV. They bring in a slightly modern look, and they really help balance out all of the dining room decor. So we're over here at the mantle, and this time last year, I went all out on this mantle. I had books and candles and an entire spray of florals. I had a ton of stuff, and I really just want to keep things pretty simple because in a few moments, we're going to be decorating the 9-drawer apothecary cabinet, which I've moved into the dining area, and there's a lot going on over there. So I kind of want to keep the rest of the room simple. That way it doesn't seem like it's too much and it doesn't distract from really where I want your eye to be, which is the apothecary. So we'll set this up with kind of like a overgrown ferns and moss and just kind of creepy seed pods and make it look full, but all kind of monochromatic so that it doesn't draw your eye. So these are the stems I'm going to be using. This is only half of them. The other half is still tucked away in my tote. But I just wanted to share with you because I used these last year and a lot of people had a lot of questions about where I got them from. I do not know the names of these. The tags have been removed, but these are from Hobby Lobby, and I know they still do have them this year. Now, they are probably right in the same vicinity that you would find these that we just decorated with a few moments ago. So if you're in that floral section looking for something that's creepy looking and kind of twisted, but it's got a little bit of greenery, this is a good option. And I have 4 of these, so I'm going to be putting 2 on either side. And then I also have this one. This one actually looks very similar to that other one. The only difference is that this one has also the green leaves. And one of the things I really wanted to kind of incorporate when I'm working on creating this sort of witchy cottage look is all of the greenery, right? In my mind, I kind of picture that the witch's cottage is tucked away deep into the forest where there's a lot of overgrown ferns and moss and greenery. And so this is a really important part of making that sort of come to life. Now, moving over here, I do have some actual ferns, and these were from the Halloween section in Michael's last year. And one of the things I love about these is how realistic they look. When you're looking at these ferns, you almost can't tell that they're fake. These are a little bit more varied in color, because you can see at the tips they have this sort of accent color here on the end. But see, that creates depth and dimension, and I really do like that. So beside the fireplace, I kind of picture in a witch's cottage that there actually would not be a functional kitchen. I know I have one in my house, but I mean, I'm not a witch, and this is modern day, so I do have a stove, but I kind of picture that the witch would be doing all of her cooking and brewing over by the fireplace, kind of like it might have been done back in early American times. So I found this stool at Goodwill. Now, it didn't look like this when I picked it up, but my husband worked on it for me, and we removed the ugly pretend leather cover that it had and took off the cushion that was underneath, and he fixed it for me because, you know, it was cracked down the middle, which actually I think is perfect for a Halloween witch's cottage. She wouldn't have new pristine items. She would have things that are old and used and worn. He sanded it for me, and we just haven't decided on a color for stain just yet, but that's fine. We're just gonna leave it like this with the dark legs and the kind of more neutral top. And then what I want to use on top of that is this. Now, this is a cooking pot, I guess. I don't know. My husband actually had this given to him from someone at his work a couple years ago, and it just looks like a cauldron to me. It looks like exactly what a witch might cook up her soup in. And so we're gonna place that there on top of the stool beside the stove, and then probably add in a few pumpkins. Because of the hurricane that came through last weekend, I ended up having to take my fall porch apart, and I just haven't put it back together yet. So I'm thinking I may end up just using these pumpkins in the house. And then I have my little witch boots that are just shoes that I thrifted from Goodwill, but they kind of remind me of witchy boots, and a couple of witch brooms. One is just one of those cinnamon brooms that you can get at like Publix or Home Depot. And then the other one was one that I found at Goodwill, but it's like a plastic costume witch's broom. So we're gonna set all of these things up here beside the fireplace. I thought this little setup with the brooms and the witch boots here beside the door was a really cute way to make it seem like a little bit of a drop zone for our witch to set her items down on the way in after a long day of witching. So here beside the dining room, I have moved my 9-drawer cabinet to this section here because I want to set up a witchy apothecary under this white shelf. Now, I want it to look maximalist and busy and frenetic. I want it to have so many things just kind of piled high that would indicate maybe a witch was in here recently working on her spooky potions. So I'm excited to set this up, and I just want to kind of take you over to the other side of the kitchen and show you what are the items we're working with. So I wasn't kidding when I said maximalist. I have a ton of stuff and I have been collecting this for probably 2 or 3 years now. Most of these items are thrifted and they're not Halloween specific. And that's one of the things that I always try to do when I'm decorating for the Halloween season is not buy things in the Halloween section. I mean, I do have a few items like this magic potion bottle that I think I picked up at the Target dollar spot a few years back. But for the most part, these are items that I thrifted or bought new with the intention of using them in my home. For example, this is a pinch pot that I grabbed on Amazon and I was using it in my kitchen. But I think this is perfectly suited for a witch's apothecary. And in a recent video, I had mentioned that one of the things that I picture a witch in a cottage tucked away in the forest would use are items that are pottery, right? So clay, items that are wood, items that are leather bound, this wood again, items that are kind of old world and speak to a time that's past. The peg shelf will have mostly glass items, almost as if our witch has her specimen jars ready to use. There'll be different sized thrifted glass containers and they'll help give a collected look. And in the evening when the candles are lit, the flame light bounces around off of the glass and creates a really eerie feel. As I move downward to the top of the cabinet, I have to say that this is my absolute favorite Halloween setup that I have ever done. As I'm decorating, I will speed things up a bit and I'll skip ahead a little as well because there's so many details and there's so much going on in this apothecary that there's just too much to show. But I will make sure and give you some really good close-ups so that you'll get a really good idea of what's going on in this witch apothecary.
Close all the curtains, stay on the phone. We are the monsters, holding you still. We are the gallows up on the hill. Answer the question, is God on your side?
I was thrilled with how the design turned out, but as much as I love it in the daylight, the night view is truly something. The candles and the accent lights really take this setup to a new level, and I cannot wait till the end of the video when I share the evening views with you.
There's no place to hide. We're under your bed. We hide in the dark. We are the monsters. An army of one. We are the monsters. A hole in the sun.
Since I moved my 9-drawer cabinet to the dining room, I thought this was a perfect time to bring out a vintage piece of furniture that I scored for only $4 at my local thrift store on clearance recently. Now, I want to say it's an old record player cabinet, but I could be wrong. Whatever it is, I love the vintage style and the warm, beautiful wood tone of it. Books as a riser is one of my favorite ways to elevate items like this small table lamp. Another thing I love to do is bring in salvaged old photos for an authentic way to add a bit of history and weight to the design. Both of the old photos that I'm using today were found at thrift stores, and I love to wonder about the people in the images. Who were they and what were their lives like? I feel like it's a creative way to bring in a bit of the unknown for a slightly spooky vibe for Halloween. I also recently thrifted this candle stand, and I paired it with an inexpensive battery-powered candle from Dollar General to bring in a bit of dimension and cozy lighting here at the side entry.
We've got a perfect storm. We don't care about the second wind.
Now that the decor is all set up, it's time to light a few candles and have a look around. Be sure to stay till the end for my absolute favorite views.
Someone else to keep us warm. Oh, we're learning where to aim, and still learning all the ways to love. But forget it just the same. With only ourselves to blame. Oh, we stay together. We sail to the moon, and sometimes too close to the wind. We hold on to nothing, 'cause we got a perfect storm. At the start or at the end, is it really worth knowing the answer to? It is not what we demand.
Thanks for spending time with me today. I had so much fun setting up this witchy cottage dining room. I would really love to hear your thoughts, so I hope you'll leave me a comment below and hit that thumbs up button because it really does help my channel out. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.